Commission reached its final day of the fourth session at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel. Both countries did promise to promote trade and bilateral relations. The final day of the session of the Tanzania-Uganda Joint Permanent Commission finalized with the removal of trade barriers between the two countries, and among other factors that are expected to boost trade, transport, border relations, plus the issue of the East African crude oil pipeline project. Let's have more of the report. Final day of the fourth session of the Tanzania-Uganda Joint Permanent Commission finalized with the removal of trade barriers between the two countries, among other factors that are expected to boost trade, transport and border relations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, General J.J. Odong, thanked technical teams and senior officials who have played a pivotal role in pushing for the bilateral talks, as he believes that this will officially address all outstanding issues that have led to implementing of the Joint Permanent Commission.
To take stock of progress made in the implementation of various decisions, agreements, and memorandum of understanding signed, and to address all outstanding issues that have been a challenge in the implementation of the agreed decisions. Allow me, therefore, to appreciate you, colleague ministers, and the ministers that you head, the various departments and agencies of both countries that made progress in implementing the agreed decisions under their mandates since the last Joint Permanent Commission.
Odong noted that the two countries have agreed to eliminate the trade barriers to deepen the existing cooperation. Tanzania exports to Uganda increased to $191 million, and Uganda's to Tanzania declined by $122.9 million, as such bilateral relations will contribute to the growth of the two neighboring countries if they address challenges for the betterment of the people.
To learn that both delegations have heeded the call by our two heads of state to work together to eliminate all non-tariff barriers to trade and to facilitate commerce between our two countries. I must hasten to add that trade is an important element for our mutual growth and prosperity. According to the 2020-2021 statistics from Uganda's Ministry responsible for trade, Tanzania's exports during that period increased to US dollars 1,091 million, while Uganda's exports declined to 122.9 million.
The Tanzanian Foreign Minister, Liberata Mulamula, was confident that this will strengthen the bilateral relations and strengthen the well-being of people of both countries, among which include the border issues, trade and immigration, and these are some of the mutual interests that were discussed in the meetings.
We will have the opportunity to discuss and make appropriate decisions on important issues that will lead to further strengthening our bilateral cooperation, as well as improving the lives of our people. We are committed to revitalize our cooperation in political and diplomatic field as we continue to develop modalities for implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding on political consultations that was signed way back in 2017, which is almost expiring, and that's the very reason we are here, to be able to renew that cooperation. And hopefully at the conclusion of this JPC, we'll be in a position to chart a way forward. Honorable Ministers, dear colleagues, I'm informed of the proposed meetings of the joint committees to iron out issues of concerns for both countries related to migration,
According to statistics, Tanzania's exports hit $191 million, and yet Uganda's to Tanzania declined by $122.9 million, and Uganda's trade volumes were affected by the non-tariff barriers, including restrictions on goods like sugar, milk and movements on Ugandan trucks. But with the Joint Permanent Commission, it is expected that such issues will be harmonized. According to the statistics, Tanzania's exports hit $190 million. That's the end of the financial year 2021. And yet Uganda's to Tanzania declined to $122.9 million. And these trade volumes were greatly affected by the non-tariff barriers, including restrictions on goods like sugar and milk and movements on Ugandan trucks. But with the Joint Permanent Commission, it is expected such issues are going to be harmonized greatly to see that the two countries can get back to bilateral relations as well. The other issue regarding the East African crude oil pipeline project, it is also going to create more opportunities for most of the Ugandans as well as the Tanzanians, through the employment as well as those that will be supplying to the project. Greatly, it is one to look at. When you look at the East African crude oil pipeline project, 15 billion has so far been in there in regards to $15 billion, if you're to look at that. And that shows you how far two countries want to actually benefit from this. And then the Joint Permanent Commission, among other things, also discussed the issue of the working permits. According to the two ministries, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from Tanzania and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Uganda are working upon clearing that matter, whereby Ugandans that are working in Tanzania can easily have a smooth running when they are in Tanzania, in our neighboring country down there, so that things move on well. And it will be a good one for all the Ugandans who are traveling, because the most difficult part is normally when you're moving into a country and you don't have a working permit. So those are some of the key issues. When you look at the Joint Permanent Commission, is when two countries come together, two or more countries come together. It is to actually discuss matters of mutual interest, which also include the bilateral relations, as they can actually come to build more of something that is actually helping them grow bigger. So when you clearly look at that, normally it was a way that most people think and believe that with the Joint Permanent Commission, Tanzania and Uganda are definitely going to go back to trading without any restrictions, because when you have a neighboring country like that, definitely your business be moving on together. I should actually have no issues whatsoever in regard to non-tariff barriers. And besides that, let's move on to the other story, and this time around it takes back to the issue of vendors and hawkers, as the NASA lane was cleared as the women operating small eateries were left in tears after enforcement officers stormed NASA lane in company of the police and started demolishing illegal structures, saying that the environment was a threat to the health of people. The women who operate small eateries were left in tears, wondering where they are going to get school fees for their children and for the family upkeep. Pedison Mumbere reports.
He doesn't have job. I also cook food. I have like 10 workers. How many people have I served the government with?
Tetumayina wetugenda kutandikira. Tulaba president. Alumirwa wansi. Omuntu wa wansi ya mulonda saba abagagga bayesungira muntu nobeba.
Women who operate small eateries were left in tears as Kampala Capital City Authority law enforcement officers in company with the police stormed the NASA lane and demolished all food vendors' kiosks.
Tiffe tusaba omukulu president jali tewali mawulire gatalaba, tewali mawulire gatawulira, ffe tuli balonzi be ate tasobola kumanya nti nanga ayogera wano namulonda ffe twamulonda. wansi naye tuli mu bulumi nga tukaaba nga tuli mu bivumo nga batuvuba lwaki tudani.
The law enforcement officers merged every property and loaded them onto their truck. Food vendors say that all the cups, saucepans, plates and benches have been taken, saying that they don't know where to begin from. The affected victims looked on hopelessly as the law enforcement officers were going on with their work. They called on the president to allocate them with funds to revamp their businesses, since they are his own good voters.
I'm requesting you, President, if you can see me, I am requesting you that please let no other person take this lane. Let this lane be organized for these women, and I'm requesting you that you get. We are requesting for temporary building on this lane. We are hearing that there are some people who want to put here parking. Mr. President, please help my women. Over 500 women are here. I know in Kampala. People never voted you. For us, we voted you.
It is like you are making thousands of NASA people to be just, I don't know, either to be murderers or thieves or to be